So hey guys, we just got done with our FG, and I'm going to talk about a knot that I don't see a lot of tutorials out there for, and that is the Rizzuto finish. So we just did a 20 turn on the Chinese finger grip FG, sealed with 4 half hitches. And again, I typically do 20 to 28, and I seal with 6 to 10 half hitches, but I just did some less for the purposes of the video. So now what we're going to do is a Rizzuto finish. And if you're familiar with tying a bimini twist, this will probably look very familiar. So pinching right here, I'm going to go up here and over the main line and the leader, I'm going to make this sort of uni clinch looking thing, like so. This is the first step to get it like this. Pretty straightforward. But then I'm going to take this and just wrap it anywhere from, I mean, honestly, 5 to 10 times, 5 to 8 times to get it nice and tight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And notice that that 5th loop, the tag end is hanging on the outside of the loop. I'm just going to pinch the tag end right here like that. Okay? So now you see we've got something that looks like this. Okay? Now, what I do is I typically pull it just a little bit, just so it's easier to see, like that. Then now what we do, whoops, is we take this end and we wrap it over each other the same amount of times that we wrapped the first way. So we're going to take this and take our hands and fold like so. 1, 2, 3. And what this does is unleash the wraps. 4. And when it's done, it'll be obvious because there's a loop. 5. And the great thing about this knot also, is that you can mess it up and keep wrapping, but it doesn't matter how many times you wrap. Because when you unwrap, see, I've got this loop right here, signifying that my knot is fully unraveled. You'll see a loop like that. If I keep wrapping, it doesn't matter. It's all going to come loose anyway, right? So you've got something like this. Again, I don't have to, but if you forget your count or whatever and you keep wrapping, more is better. Because when you turn, it's going to come out the same amount of twists anyway. And so all you have to do now, if you can see, is just pull tight. Okay? Really, all along this process, you should be moistening the line. And you just pull nice and tight. Okay? Pull the leader, pull the tag end, and you got a Rizzuto finish on an FG knot. Okay? It's a real simple knot. Honestly, well tied. Very, very, very well tied. It will hold up probably to about 80% strength of the main line, provided you're using, it depends on a number of factors. For example, monofilament knots better than fluorocarbon. Your lines have to be moist. Different brands of line, not better than others. But with the right conditions and the right tying and so on, you can get an FG to be over 80% in terms of the mainline breaking strength. So let's just talk about absolute breaking strength for a moment. This is 65-pound Power Pro braid. But in reality, if you try to stretch this, this will probably break anywhere at 75 to 80 pounds of tension. Just throwing a guess out there. So the idea is that a connection is said to be 100% if when you pull with tension against a fish or whatever, it will hold up to 100% of the absolute breaking strength, right? So what I'm saying is that an FG knot will typically hold up anywhere. If you tie it well, if you tie it properly, you should be easily get 70% of the absolute breaking strength with heavy enough leader and, like I said, the right conditions. But if you tie it very well, and you can get upwards of 80% or over 80%. And just if you think that's not that great, 70%, well, it's physics. That's number one. It's very hard to tie 100% knot. And number two is that if you look at the recent knot competitions, the FG is one of the strongest pound for pound in its category. It's not the strongest. You've still got knots like the PR bobbin, and you've got the GT knot for heavier connections, but the FG knot is a knot that really won't fail you if you use it properly. For example, you're probably not going to pull at extremely heavy force the entire time. Most of the times, you may not even need, to lock the drag and pull, at 100% of the braking strength. So just something to think about. It's a really good knot. I think if somebody only had to learn one knot, this is the knot they should learn. Agent goes fishing here, and all I do after this is just cut the tag end, and I'm ready to roll. All right, guys, take care.